My Bedtime Story Bible, Chapter 16. Jonah's Ride in a Fish. Jonah tumbled and rolled and flipped and flopped and came to rest on a sandy beach. He let out a big sigh and then sat up to look around. He was out of the fish and on dry land again. Jonah knew exactly what he had to do. He had to go to Nineveh. God had told Jonah to go to Nineveh to tell the people about God. But Jonah didn't want to go. So he got into a boat that was sailing in the opposite direction. When a huge storm came up, Jonah knew God had sent it. He told the sailors to throw him overboard to stop the storm. They didn't want to do it, but finally it seemed like they had no choice. The boat was going to sink if they didn't do something fast. So they tossed Jonah in the water. That is when the big fish swallowed Jonah. He spent 3 days in the fish's stomach. God had sent the fish to save Jonah. God still wanted Jonah to go to Nineveh, so he told the fish to spit Jonah out on the beach. Jonah picked a piece of seaweed off of his shoulder. He shook sand out of his robe, then he stood up. He needed to get going to Nineveh, but first he needed to rest. On shaky legs, Jonah walked towards some grass and trees. When he got there, he lay down. He curled up and quickly fell asleep. Good night, Jonah. Good night. Sleep tight. Before you sleep tight tonight, ask God to always obey him.